Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. Let's go live, back in action. We're kicking it, baby. We're ready to rock and roll, attacking your speakers from the field over to the bleachers. This is the Power 32 podcast, baby. Let's go. My name is Jason Fearman, a.k.a. the Sports Prophet, a.k.a. the Smart Guy, along with my smart-ass co-host, Mr. Kenny Culp. What's going on, man?
How are you? How's everybody doing out there? I had a pretty nice, smooth week. Nothing too bad happened. And I think we did a good job last week.
We had fun last week. I had a good time. As long as we're having a good time, good times to be had, let's keep having them, baby, all over the place. And the NFL gives us good times for about 5 or 6 months, and then I go into a little bit of depression like a fucking bear. I hibernate for a little while.
Yeah, but it's not the winter. It's the summer. It's really weird.
It's always the summer in Florida, and it's always fucking raining, too. That's another thing. That shit's got to stop. But the weather is getting nicer, getting cooler, which means like 80-degree days, instead of 100 with fucking humidity. I can't deal with that shit, man. That's way too much. Yo, next week, we got a sick show coming up. George Teague, former safety of the Dallas Cowboys, who the 49ers are playing next week. So we're going to get into that game. He also played for the Green Bay Packers, so we can talk about them. But he's got a lot going on. He's got his own podcast, Teague's Take, and he's been doing a lot with Alabama. He's former Crimson Tide. He went to that school, and obviously does a lot with the Cowboys now. So I'll be interested to hear what he's got going on. I got to wrap it up with him a little.
Very interesting guest. You're not going to see that guy all the time unless you're watching his show. But it's still awesome, right? What a great guest. And
he's got a good show.
Did you mention the Miami guest?
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he was there for a minute, too. You're right. He was there for a minute, too. He got out quick, and that was toward the end of his career. But, yeah, more known for being a Dallas Cowboy and knocking Terrell Owens off the star on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, which is badass. No matter what team you like, it's just badass.
Oh, that was fucking great. I even cheered for it. I remember being in a bar. I'm like, you fucking deserve that. And after his second touchdown, I'm like,
what a smart ass.
Right?
Nobody likes a smart ass. I'll tell you right now.
No. Aaron Rodgers, he's a smart ass, but he's got himself a smart ass motherfucking wide receiver. And I mean that in a good way. And Devontae Adams being reunited. He is going over there to the New York Jets, which I think a lot of us predicted before Halloween at some point he would be a New York Jet because the Raiders aren't going to do anything good. They know they're not going anywhere. And
nobody's the Saints pulling
that.
The Saints weren't going to do that.
No, and it didn't make sense. He wanted to be back with Rodgers, and that made more sense. And look, you know what? Whether he had a hand in it or not, which I'm sure he did, it all worked out. Whether he had a hand in Salah being fired, whatever, it all may have worked out. They played a decent game against the Bills, only losing by a field goal. I mean, Aaron played better in that game. But, yeah, Devontae comes over. So you got him, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. Maybe he'll get going. I mean, you got to like that upgrade right there. You got to think they're going to be a better team.
Now, here's my question to you. Do you trade Mike Williams?
I think that if you can. I mean, what are you going to get, a fifth-round pick for him?
Well, I mean, how about back to the Chargers? Would that be silly?
No, that would make sense. It would, even though
there's some weird moves going on. Really weird moves.
Yeah, there's definitely weird moves. And another wide receiver that moved is Amari Cooper. He went to Buffalo. And they're like, oh, yeah, the Jets, you want to do that shit? All right, we're going to take Amari Cooper. Now, Devontae is a better wide receiver, in my opinion. I think in most people's opinion. But
I think he makes the Bills better.
Amari makes the Bills better. He definitely makes them, I think, I don't want to say a whole lot better, but definitely better.
It can't be ignored that Devontae and Aaron have 69 touchdowns together.
Wow, that's really impressive. Yeah, that's the most over their span when they played together from 2017 to 2021. During that time, they were killing it.
Yeah, and speaking about Cooper real quick, good news for Jerry Jeudy owners as well.
Yeah, that's
Jerry
right.
Jeudy's going to move into the number one wide receiver role unless they get Mike Williams, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but their offense sucks anyway. They don't do anything. I mean, they are garbage. They might as well get rid of Deshaun Watson and go through
most sacked quarterback in the league still, I believe.
Terrible. And it's not just the offensive line's fault. He's holding on to the ball. He's trying to make plays and, but no, not working out. Karma's a bitch, man. That's what happens, bro. That's what goes down.
Yes,
what really sucks, and this I don't see karma in this at all, but Aiden Hutchinson going down for the Lions. He'll probably be out for the year. they need to go ahead and try to not replace him necessarily, but get another body in there. Like, I don't know, Jadeveon Clowney. Maybe has Hassan Reddick. They can pull away from the Jets. Maybe they can sign him.
I don't like the Reddick, like the aura around him right now, and like the energy that's around Reddick.
Me either. I hear that.
But, yeah.
But that could be the jolt that he needs, something like that. Sedarius Smith.
Wasn't no ticky-tack injury either. It was, it was a real injury, not like a tear or a pull. I mean, we saw his foot bend around another man's leg.
Yeah, God, it was awful.
Horrible.
Terrible injury. Had to get Carter off the field, the whole nine. Yeah, no good. So, we wish him well and, speedy recovery, and hopefully he'll be back next year. But
Detroit's got money too, so Detroit's got the money to do it too. So what about Joey Bosa? Is that a possibility or no way?
I don't see why he would be leaving Jim Harbaugh's defense right now. They got a good thing going on over there. He seems rejuvenated. That whole defense, which is really funny because under Brandon Faley, which I called him from day one when he started coaching, that awful coach that he is, I can't believe that he even had a freaking job. They were just terrible from the get-go. And Jim Harbaugh comes in with the same exact personnel and turns them into like a top 5 defense in the league. So you
like Tua in Miami.
Yeah, really, right. Sometimes you just need that right coach with the right quarterback, and that's why you see Kansas City always winning. You got the right coach and the right freaking quarterback.
I don't want to get off topic too quick, but I do want to throw it in there real fast. I'm a huge fan of Madden and the fantasy draft, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know how crazy this sounds, but I would love to see every single year 32 teams have a fantasy draft, and people end up in a different place every single year. How friggin' wild would that be?
That would be wild, man. That'd be fun as hell.
That's the thing I could think of.
That would be great. They don't have to play in a bubble somewhere or some shit like that, but that would be great. I love the idea.
It's so cool, but I don't know if you have a family. I don't have a family, so I would do that in a second, but perhaps if you have a family, it may be different.
You have the coaches be the GMs or whatever, or you have the GM be the GM. However you want to work it out. I like that idea, man.
Coaching staff always stays the same, but like they pick players every year. Can you imagine just watching that event, the ratings, the commercials, the money that can be generated from a fantasy draft every year in the NFL?
No doubt. That would be a lot. It'll never happen, obviously, in a million. I shouldn't say that. Shit happens, man. Good things do happen.
Sentinel likes it. I know Steve-O likes it.
Yeah, Steve-O likes it. Yes, it was smart enough, right? There we go.
Yeah.
Sentinel, what's up, man? Good to see you over there. Yep. And the last thing before we get into picks, but I got something interesting for you. It's called Say What. It's a new little segment I'm going to bring to the show. Russell Wilson apparently getting all first-team snaps, like he is ready to be the quarterback over the weekend. I didn't see this coming this fast, man. Like, he was cleared, ready to go. Now he is quarterback number 1, literally, over Justin Fields, who, no, he wasn't blowing the world up, with his play. He was playing okay, but they were winning, and they were 4-2. And now you're going to turn to Russell Wilson, who really only has one gear, and that's
no more running guy, right? No more mobile quarterback.
Well, you take that equation out, and that's going to make it a lot easier for defenses, I think, in my opinion. But maybe
and Justin has 5 rushing touchdowns, I believe. I
got to think that there had to be a contract signed in the beginning where it said, Russell Wilson, you will be our quarterback when and if you are healthy. Bottom line, end of story. No matter what's going on. I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think happened, because I feel like this could have easily happened. Wilson and Tomlin talked alone. They made promises. He's like, I'm going to give you your opportunity, but he got hurt. He got hurt. Yeah. And so the guy is like, all right, I owe you this. I promised you this. We discussed this. So I'm going to give you the start against a team that we're probably going to lose to anyway. And he's going to, if that defense shows up for the Jets, and they can score for once, and you lose real bad, you may never get a start again in the NFL.
I hear what you're
saying.
So
I wish they would stick with Justin if I was Russ, because my mystery is still there. That I may be good.
Saying the offense has the rhythm of Justin, quarterback mannerisms. Wilson will change the timing of that. Can the offense adjust? Well, I don't know how well they're practicing. I mean, there's a reason why he's putting him in there, whether it's because they agreed upon it at the beginning of the year or because they believe they have a better chance to win with Russell Wilson. And I have a really hard time believing that right now. Again, Justin Fields is not lighting the world on fire. He's not amazing, but they're winning with him. and they're getting better. And he's throwing for more yardage, but he doesn't throw the ball down the field that much, and that's something Russell Wilson likes to do. And I know George Pickens is probably going crazy over that. He wants Russell Wilson in, but not everybody does. Different story. I don't know. Well, look, they can always go back to him if they want to.
Well, they're doing like any given Sunday, right? They're going from Willie Beeman now back to Cap Rooney, and he's more of a statue thrower guy in the pocket.
Yeah.
And before, we were used to some wild-ass college playing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to this like textbook steps.
He can roll out, something like that. He can roll out to the right a little bit. It may take him a little bit longer to get there. Steve was saying maybe they're going to trade Fields. I would trade. I would trade Wilson if I were.
I would trade Wilson too, but like I said, who knows what they talked about? Who knows what when they signed him, what was discussed and what was said and what was promised or whatever.
I know.
Well, some people also think that Denver was doing well second half of the year with Wilson.
And the thing is, you can't judge Russell Wilson what happens this game against the Jets. They have a really good defense. Number one.
And it's his first game back.
His first game back in a while, so I expect him to be the starter for the next at least.
I'm gonna hold on to him on my fantasy team. I'm gonna hold on to Justin.
Hold on,
someone just picked up Trey May, and I'm not ready to go full on Bo Nix yet.
Those rushing yards for quarterbacks are freaking huge in fantasy, man. Hold on to that.
I want my mobile quarterback for sure. I want Justin to play, and if he gets traded to Miami, I'm all for it, dude.
Ooh, yep.
I'm all for it.
Man, you would love that, baby. I'll tell you. You know what I love? We did really, really well last week. If you guys were listening to the show, and I know a lot of you are, 11-3. Kenny and I both went 11-3. We didn't pick the exact same games. We picked a lot of the same games.
And I think we did that week 1 too, didn't we? We had the same.
Yeah, we had a lot of the same games.
Different games.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. The Sentinels on Justin Fields replacing Tua. I mean, that would work out right now.
I mean, well, Tua's supposed to come back, but
yeah, Tua's coming back. Tua's going to be coming back. And Miami will be better for it, but will it be too late? I don't know. We'll see. We're going to break down the game.
Stafford to Miami also has been rumors of Stafford to Miami.
Stafford to Miami? Jeez. I don't know if that will work out so much. I mean, he can run Mike McDaniel's offense, but I feel like it's kind of weird. He's like a 36-year-old man in like a 59-year-old person's body, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. You went 11-3 too, Sentinel? I like it.
I went 10-4 in that one with him.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. Well, you went 11-3 here, so I don't know which game you switched up, but you went 11-3 with me. We both did.
That's so what you get here. Here you get cutting edge fantasy and NFL stuff. Over there, it's fun and games.
That's what's up. Well, let's do fun and games real quick before we get into our picks for week 7 and we get into our fantasy start of the game. We're not going to do above or below. We're going to do which guy we think is going to be. It doesn't have to be fantasy necessarily. You could pick a defensive player if you wanted to, but that's up to you. We'll probably stick with offense mostly. All right, here we go. It's called Say What. Say What. Now, who said this? Here we go. There is no defense against a perfect pass. I can throw a perfect pass. Was it Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, or Dan Marino?
That is a damn good question. I'm not going to look at the chat.
We can get your guesses out there as long as they're not cheating.
I was going to say, I want the chat to also guess. Just because it seems a little arrogant, I'm going to say Aaron.
It does seem arrogant.
Easily be Marino.
Marino is the right answer. You should have went with your instinct. Marino
it wasn't my
the right
answer,
guy.
But I understood that it could be Danny.
That's why I threw Aaron Rodgers in there because it sounds like something that he would say. Definitely.
Great decoy.
Yeah. All right, I got 2 more. Here we go. If you have you've heard this before, but who said it? If you have 2 quarterbacks, you actually have none. Do you know who said it? I'll give you the choices. If you don't.
I may know when I hear it, but right now,
here we go. Here are your 3 choices. We got John Madden, Bill Parcells, and Bill Belichick.
Ooh. I'm going to go Madden because I feel like it's something that's been said before these guys, Parcells and Belichick.
Correcto mundo, as the fans would say.
John Madden has done so much for football, even despite being drafted in like number 265 in the 39th round in 1960 or whatever. Remember they used to have like 250 rounds?
John Madden used to play football. He looks funny in his football uniform.
Yeah, I like John John Madden's key to football, man.
He and football was synonymous, man. What are you kidding me? I grew up playing Madden forever. It's been like, God, bro.
I'm sure you were playing since the very first one, like me.
Oh, all of them. Sega Genesis, man. What are you kidding me? I was all over that shit. I'm an old
played
man.
every single one almost every year until like, all right, I gotta be honest with you, I haven't played in like the last 10 years, but I don't have to play any one besides 2002. It's the greatest Madden ever.
Yeah, it's the best.
Actually, 2007 is good. I mean, there's good ones. So I like to stay with the old.
I remember that one. I'll never forget it. I played it every freaking day. Go on and on about that. Let me give you one more. Here we go.
I do remember that, Sentinel. That was awesome.
All right, here we go. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen, but effort, nobody can judge that because effort is between you and you. Was it Dick Butkus, Lawrence Taylor, or Ray Lewis? I'll repeat it if you want.
Ooh, okay. I feel like I've narrowed it down to 2 anyway. I'm going to go Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor would
but
be.
It could be Ray Lewis.
Should have won with Ray Lewis. Yeah, but it could have been. You can't go with that could have been. You got to give me one answer.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I made my pick. I stand by my pick, but I knew it was 2. You know, I could narrow it down to 2. Just like in school, right? Hey, I passed.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about how.
It is Mr. Ray Lewis, indeed. All right. We're going to do fun shit like that like every week. We're going to come up with different stuff, man. All right? Because we're going to have some fun. You're not going to know about it because we don't rehearse the show. You had no idea I was going to do that.
I had no idea. I really didn't. I did pretty well. I'm going to be honest with you. I may never do that well.
You did all right. You did all right. So. Let's see what kind of shit I got for you next week. We'll figure that one out.
All right.
Right. Here we go. All right. Sentinel's with us over here.
True Sentinel. True Sentinel. I should have thought about that.
Here we go. First game tonight, Broncos and Saints. I mean, the Saints have banged up, dude. No Olave, no Shaheed. Who else is it without this year? I mean, this game, Carr isn't playing.
Carr isn't playing.
Obviously,
I don't know that Taysom Hill is playing. Is he playing?
I don't think he's playing either. Spencer Rattler is their quarterback, obviously.
And one of their tight ends, I think, is also injured.
Yeah, they're in big trouble.
Got his name.
They got problems all over the place. And they're home. It's a bad look. Sean Payton coming back to New Orleans as a Denver Bronco head coach. So, he should be received pretty well, I would imagine. I would be shocked if they were boozing. I mean, there'll be some booze.
There'll be some.
But mostly they should cheer the hell out of that guy because he was a coach that brought that city back after Katrina. Got them a Super Bowl in 2009. Their only one ever because they have been the Aints forever. But he turned that franchise around or helped do it, him and Breeze. Anyway, their game tonight. Denver, they're not a scoring machine at all, but they play well on defense. They get sacks. They get pressure on the quarterback. They're a tough team on D, but Bo Nix is a problem moving the football. And defensively, even though they're a little bit older, the Saints have a good defense still. So probably not a lot of scoring in this game, but who's going to score more points is the question.
Yeah, I actually do like the Denver defense. I know Surtain is out, but I do like the defense regardless. I also like Bo. I feel like he's trending up. He's getting there. He's getting better.
He's getting better.
Courtland Sutton is rising in the wide receiver standings and receptions, and he's getting
very underrated. He's never really had a good quarterback, to go along. If he had a good quarterback, he would put up big time numbers. I'm talking about 100 catches, 1,300 yards, shit like that. He's a really good player.
I totally agree with you on that. I think the Niners, he was somebody that the Niners were thinking about at some point, believe it or not.
They should have thought harder. I would have liked to have him.
That would have been nice. But we got some good boys out there now. All right, so I like the Broncos.
You like the Broncos in this one? Okay.
Yeah. And do you know why? I've said this on another show, too. The first 2 weeks, I picked the Broncos because I really had high hopes for them, and I liked Bo and the whole thing. And they lost the first 2 games, and then they've won everyone since, pretty much. So I think they lost last week, but
I don't really know how
they're going
to score points in this game unless it becomes on defense. But again, Denver, not a great offense, but overall, yeah, I like them. I think Sean Payton will coach this game to victory, somehow, some way over his buddy Dennis Allen.
It's definitely a better story.
they both know each other pretty well. So you got to imagine, look, they went offense against defense for a long, long time against each other during practice with the Saints. You got to imagine they know each other's tendencies. So be careful. If you're a betting man in this game, watch out. I would go in the under on that one. All right, we both like Denver.
Yeah.
And mentioning Cortland Sutton, I think that he would be the guy that would stand out in this game to me.
Yeah, I think you're right. Unless Bo Nix has like 100 yards rushing, you're probably right.
It's possible. The kid can run. He's definitely an athlete.
About 30, I think. So you never know.
You'd be hard-pressed to find athletes in this next game. That's Patriots and Jaguars. I don't know what the hell's going on with Jacksonville, really. They are a hot mess, man. They can't find a way to win. They are garbage Harunski. And the Patriots going with Drake May, obviously. And they scored more points than they had the entire season, 21 or whatever it was against Houston. With a crushing loss, obviously. But, I mean, this game is one of the least exciting games that I've seen in a long time. I could care less about the game. But we have a lot of other good games to talk about. So without wasting too much time on this one, I went back and forth a little bit, and I thought that, you know what? Christian Gonzalez, he's going to make a couple of plays over here, maybe pick one off and bring it to the house possibly. I don't know, because Trevor Lawrence is not throwing the ball with accuracy. It's a tough one to pick, but I will take New England by a field goal in this game.
Ooh, I thought you were going to go Jags just because of the experience,
I don't care. It's not working.
Old guys.
It ain't working with them.
It really isn't. They're a terrible team. I said they were fighting for last place in that division.
They suck.
I'm also picking New England. I'm a big fan of Drake May, even in the one game with the 2 interceptions. I'm still a big fan. Tom Brady loves it.
Also, they got those points in garbage time, and Houston didn't give a shit.
Yeah, understood. But I think he liked it. I think he's feeling it. And I think that with Hunter Henry, it's probably his second best wide receiver option there.
Probably.
Demario Douglas is going to be there.
I like him.
I think I like New England in this one.
You think if this is a good question by Steve over here? If the Jags lose, do you think Doug gets fired?
If he loses in London and gets fired after, that'll be the 4th coach now that gets fired.
What a ride home that would be, huh? Could you imagine that? Fucking how many hours it takes to get home from there? Like 5.5, 6 hours. Like Jesus Christ! You must think.
Oh, what a plane ride! I don't think I could go back with the team.
No, you can't. Take a commercial plane if you have to, man. Or if you could do it on the company's dime and freaking go first.
Go straight to Egypt. Call Aaron. Tell him what to do.
Right. Don't forget the ayahuasca. All right. So you go with Jacksonville then?
No, I'm definitely taking New England.
You are? Oh, okay. All right. So
I mean, he's no Brock Purdy. He doesn't have the weapons that Brock has.
Not many people are, my friend.
Not many people are, but I do like Drake. I do like him.
Yeah, no, okay.
I like him better than Bo, and I have talked about Bo a lot already. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, we be able to start making some sort of comparison. So Steve likes the Jags. He's like, come on. And Jags are home in this game. I don't even know if they have a home, whether it's London.
And not that I don't like Tank Bigsby or anything, but I think that he's really the main running back now.
I think that's starting to happen. Travis Etienne almost got benched basically last game.
He might be traded. Another guy who could be traded.
Ooh, watch out. Yep. You know what? That's a good call right there. A team that can use a player like that. I like it. Very interesting. All right, moving on.
Like maybe Dallas?
Hello, McFly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, if you want a chance in that division.
They really should. That's a great call right there. Kenny, very good. Very good. You're a smart ass, but right there, you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy, not the smart ass. I like that one.
Sometimes some smart ass has like 10% intelligence in there.
Use that brain of yours, buddy. It's working. Whatever's under that skull cap.
Keeping it warm is what I gotta do.
There you go. Keep it nice and toasty. All right, we got Seattle and Atlanta. The game is in Atlanta, and the Falcons. I think they're favored by 3 points, but who gives a shit? We don't do the lines over here. Drake London has, like we talked about last week, we said watch out for Drake London in that game, and he turned out to be big time, and he turned it up. I think he does it again, but I think a lot of points are scored in this game. I think Seattle puts up a lot of points, whether it's in the run game, DK Metcalf, getting his stuff together. He's one of those guys who can have a 3-touchdown game and then disappear for like 2 more weeks kind of thing. But I think that Atlanta is going to have enough, and Kirk Cousins is going to make another fourth quarter comeback. So I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think fourth quarter comeback, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think that the Falcons are doing very well right now. and are focused on catching the Bucks, and they can't lose to the Seahawks. So that's how I feel they feel about it. And so
Yeah.
I'm going with the Falcons and all their little weapons.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still hoping that they finish in first place in that
I
division.
still feel like they don't use Bijan Robinson right. They still got to figure that shit out. I don't really understand why not.
Yeah.
He is their best player, clearly.
Call
He's
Mike
the best
McDaniel and
player.
pay him on the side to write some running plays up.
Yeah, I guess so, right? I mean, use it. God. All right, what about Titans and Bills? All right, Buffalo, they should win this one. Cakewalk. Josh Allen, I'm looking at AJ Epineza to have a really good game. I'm looking for Greg Rousseau to have a really big-time game. Players are going to step up. I know that the secondary for the Bills is not that good, but do you really worry about that with Will Levis and the Titans? No, I don't.
No.
Buffalo, big time, 31-13.
I like Pollard, and you can run on the Bills, but the Spears is hurt, so he won't be really a factor. I don't know who their third running back is.
Pollard is not a guy you give the ball to 30 times a game. You just don't.
No, you definitely don't. It's true because you don't hear anything about Tajay Spears, but he does rack up like 8 to 10 points every week. So he's getting reps, he's getting yards, he's doing things, and he's not there. And if Will Levis is starting, that makes me feel even worse about it. So should be an easy one for the Bills.
I think so. Steve-O, I like that. Save that in there when we do those games. He's going with Geno,
above and below.
11.5 rushing yards. 11.5 rushing yards for who? Geno. Geno Smith. Very good, Grasshopper.
Over? Oh, they're saying that's all he'll get in that game, or you mean per run?
Is that the over? Is he giving us an over under? Steve-O,
Geno probably averages 11.5 per run.
Who is?
Geno probably averages per run 11 yards.
Yeah,
per scramble or whatever you call it.
When he takes off, he does. Yeah. All right, we got a divisional game here. Let's see, but Kenny said Willis top 10 quarterback.
I did. He's 100% right. I did. I blew it on that one. I was so disappointed with all the tools that they gave him, and he just blew it with that stupid.
Oh, Will Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Oh, we said Willis. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, Will Levis. I knew what he meant though. Because that's my worst thing I've done all year. That's the worst thing I said.
Well, you weren't the only one.
100% correct.
That's okay. He's got big guns. He was showing it off.
So disappointed in that little son of a bee.
It happens. Don't worry about it. They'll find another quarterback. They'll get back eventually. They should hire Mike Vrabel back. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Anyway, AFC North, Bengals and Browns are going at it. The Bengals are dying for a win. The Browns suck, right? I mean, so how can this
be the worst team in the league right now, I believe.
Browns suck. They are horrible, and they just lost probably their best player. And I mean, it's a nightmare over there. Cleveland is a nightmare. How can they possibly win this game?
Defense and running the ball.
Okay.
But good luck with that.
Can they do that?
No. No, they have a terrible O-line. They're terrible. And we said before, Deshaun's the most sacked quarterback.
Trey Hendrickson may have 9 sacks in this game.
I've said things like that before, and it should happen, but it doesn't. But I agree. I'm saying at least 2.5, above 2.5.
Sounds like a nice game to me. So you're going with Cincy on that one. All right. I like it. Jamar Chase CD too. Big game here. I like this one. Texans at Packers. Ooh, I like it. You know what I really need? Kenny, before you say what you got to say, here's what's got to show up to me and then go for it. And I'll say what I got to say after it. I like this game a lot. Which defense is going to show up and say, here we are. This is another element to our team. We're not just about offense. We're not just about throwing the ball and having good running backs between Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon. We can actually play defense. I don't want to see Houston giving up 24, 27 points a game and Green Bay, letting Minnesota put up 40 whatever points on them. That should not be happening to top-tier playoff teams. So is the defense going to show up? And if so, which one?
I'm going to say, I don't even have to think about it, the Packers. And I know what happened with Minnesota, but Minnesota may really be it.
Well, they're 5-0. They're them in Kansas City, only undefeated teams.
They really may be just.
It's not like they beat nobodies. They played tough teams, So
they may just really be the friggin' shit, right? And it doesn't matter who the hell they play. I mean, it could be Minnesota and KC in the Super Bowl, and Minnesota could whoop the crap out of that team.
Why
If you
not?
asked me today, I would lay the bet down on Minnesota.
The way they're playing, I mean, the offense, defense,
And the way KC is playing and their injuries.
and KC is not playing well. They really aren't. So they got a
Right.
little bit of an issue over there. Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
So-
Also, DeAndre Hopkins is someone who I've said, Evo said, or has also heard that he's someone who could be someone that goes to the Kansas City.
Out somewhere, maybe. Yeah, he can be a good second, wide
Mike
receiver.
Williams,
First down plays. Mike Williams. Maybe.
Valdez Scantling is also, I believe, was dropped by the Buffalo.
All right. He's all right. Make
A lot of options. They don't need much because somehow it always works out.
Somehow it does. Well, Green Bay right now, they got good young wide receivers. So happy with them. And I think they take the game at home. I think I agree with you with the defense where they're going to show up a little bit and be like, all right, this is another Hopkins will get more targets in a trade value. No doubt about it. Steve was saying, but going back to the game. Yeah, I do like the Packers in this game, not by a lot. And I think even if they were playing in Houston, I would give the game to Green Bay. I'm just scared about Jordan Love being a little bit lazy and maybe having a turnover here and there. If he can tighten that up the way that he did the last half of the season last year, I'd feel more comfortable. But, yeah, I'm going to pick Green Bay, bro.
Yeah, because you're right. It doesn't seem like he's lost that or gotten past that yet. He does throw some opportune interceptions.
Yes.
They're like really at the worst moments. So that he hasn't lost that yet. They were trying to train an Aaron Rodgers, and they ended up with another Brett Favre in Green Bay is what happened. So, which isn't terrible. I mean, Brett Favre is not a terrible quarterback. Just at Minnesota.
we saw what Brett Favre did to us in the 90s. It was a nightmare. Brett Favre killed us in the 1990s. He was a destroyer.
Yeah. Made you miss Don Mikowski.
Yeah, right? Match Mikowski. You going with Green Bay in this one?
Yeah, Green Bay for me. And only because, like you pointed out, I don't think of Texans and think nasty defense, though we should. It should strike fear into people, and I don't think it does.
No, I mean, I like Will Anderson Jr. I like Danielle Hunter, who came from Minnesota, but the rest of the defense, I like Derek Stingley Jr. We can name names over here, but
you don't hear them during the week.
There you go. And DeMeco Ryans can only do so much. If he was solely focused on the defense, I believe they'd have a better defense, but he's got to head coach the whole team. And that's a whole different story. And people are learning that, but he still is a good head coach. And I would play for him if I could play. Anyway, I don't think anybody wants to play for the Dolphins and Colts, and they play each other this week. All right. I mean, and if Anthony Richardson is the quarterback, I think that puts them at a deficit. Joe Flacco has been the better guy. The wide receivers are running routes, getting open, catching balls. Yeah, so, I mean, even if with a banged-up Jonathan Taylor, I mean, going against Miami, look, Miami with Snoop Huntley, which is a really interesting name, Kenley, but whatever, Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, whatever you call him, Raheem Mostert coming back, maybe Tyreek Hill. After these guys had a week off, their bye week is done. They had a big week of practice. Maybe something clicks and they get it right. I don't know how. I don't have the rationale, but I know that the Colts are not a good team, and they let up a lot of points. And if Miami's going to score points, it'll be this week, and they'll do it by the run. So I'm going to take Miami on the road.
Yeah, even though they're killing me for the last 3-4 weeks, they've been killing me. I'm going to pick them again, too. And the Colts have nipped me, kicked me in the balls before when I picked against them. So I'm a little – this is my – I don't know what the F pick is going on right here. This is like I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just flipping a coin. But I'm going to stick with the Dolphins. I'm a loyal guy. I'm carrying Achane. And they say he's healthy and he's RB1. And Snoop can't throw the damn ball, so they got to run it.
Yeah, they're going to have to run it.
And Mostert –
short passes.
Mostert and Achane, screen passes, little dump passes it's going to be these little Jimmy G things going on.
I believe the Colts, I'm sorry, because I'm showing Steve over here up on the screen. He's going with the Colts in the money line. I think that McDaniels has coached this team up during their bye week, and they had a lot of good practices from what I'm hearing, and Huntley looked good. I think that things will go well, and look at the short passing going.
Hope so.
Play action. I think Miami will look like a better team. Not a great team, but a better team. So
I hope so, because they have looked like a terrible team for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 weeks. I think they also had a bye, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, they beat the Patriots a couple of weeks ago before they bye. It was 15-10. It was garbage.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
so yeah, got to do better than that. Got to do better. Now, here are two teams who are doing great. I told you we got a lot of great games on the docket this week. The 4-1 Lions against the 5-0 Vikings. Wow. Big
Great.
time team right there. Minnesota coming off their bye, getting healthy, getting right. The Lions coming off an unbelievable demolishing in Dallas, man. Boy, what a freaking win. I mean, they were toying with them. They were throwing to linemen. They were doing flea flickers. They were doing whatever they wanted. They were moonwalking into the end zone. I mean, it was a joke the way the Lions pounced on them. They really, really did, no pun intended. So this is a real tough game, Kenny. Lions, who are feisty as hell, and the Vikings, who are everybody's like darling surprise. But is it the Lions from last year coming back into this year and like, no, this is our division, even though you're 5-0, we're coming back and we're going to take it from you?
With the Colts, I mean, with the Lions' history, I just can't feel that way. Also, I've told you before, I just didn't think that the Lions were that good last year. Somehow they made it to where they made it. I just personally didn't think they were that good.
All right.
I still don't think they're that great. They're playing well. They're scoring a lot. I think they're right. You know, basically Montgomery is carrying the team right now.
I think you're out of your mind, actually, to be honest with you. Jared Goff went 18 of 18 the other day. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome. Amon-Ra St. Brown is fantastic. I mean, Jameson Williams just runs past everybody. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he does run one route, but it's a really good route.
With Gibbs and Montgomery, I mean, you only have to throw 18 passes, and no one's really going to get in your way. It makes it real easy.
I guess so. But that's the thing. When they're playing from ahead, they're winning games.
Here's the only problem this week. They're playing Flores and the Vikings, who we just talked about, who at least I think now I'm not betting against them anymore until they lose because
I understand.
They're disgusting. I can't even explain it. I'm sure that the guests that we had on, Kevin and Pat, they knew.
Yeah, they know what's up. They know what's up.
So I'm gonna go ahead and submit now to the Vikings.
It's going to the Vikings. All right. Making Pat and Kevin happy over there. I'm sure
the lion. You know, the lion is the lion for a reason. So I'm just gonna lay on my back here.
Well, at least they're not Cubs. They're not Cubs. Like, that's horrible. You got the Lions and then you got the Cubs in baseball. What a joke. Horrible names in baseball. Terrible. Yankees and Mets. Yeah. Stupid. Dude, I'm taking Detroit because I think that they're a little tougher at the line of scrimmage. I think that the loss of Aiden Hutchinson is huge, but I think that the team will rally around that and get motivated, and somehow they pull out a close one, 28-24.
They really have to. They really got to.
It's going to be close. It'll be tough.
You're going to start before time.
First disagreement right there. All right, we got the Eagles and Giants, NFC East game, where a lot of people in the beginning of the year will be like, oh, man, that's an easy win for Philadelphia. Nope, incorrect. It's not an easy win. But will they win, Kenny? That's the question.
No, I got to go with the Eagles this week.
Okay.
I think they're just a little better right now. Neighbors hasn't been there for 2 weeks. He hasn't been playing. It's his first game this week. And I hope so. Yeah. And I hope he has a great game because I have him in fantasy, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think that the Eagles are going to win this game, and I know how bad they've been. But Saquon playing New York, I think that's one of those Sean Payton things.
Right.
That's where I'm going to lean towards it. I like the story, right? I'm going to go with the better story because if Peyton loses to New Orleans in some dumb, stupid, boring game, that's not going to be fun for anybody. But in the other, I'm thinking in like entertainment. So, the Peyton win is better.
There was no entertainment when Philly played Cleveland last week. That was one of the worst games ever. Now, if Philly is going to struggle at home against Cleveland, what are they going to do on the road against the Giants, who actually play for their coach? They may not be the greatest roster up and down, but these guys play football. And that's the reason why I'm taking them. They have the heart. They don't have the talent at all that Philly has. A.J. Brown can eat these guys alive, but the schemes are not working right now. I don't understand what is happening with Philly. It's not working. So I think the Giants will somehow squeak out a win. I'm gonna go with the upset.
I like the Eagles because last week, remember, Devontae and AJ were back together for the first time. and Saquon struggled in that game. I think that all turns around in this one. That's all I think. That's the only difference, I think.
We got a quick over-under from Steve-O. 14.5 receiving yards for Barkley. I'm going over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely above.
Yeah, I'm going over. I'm looking more like 25, 30 yards from him. But then again, you never know. He may be running the ball so damn well, nobody will care. But yeah, they got Devontae Smith back also. They're looking good. All right, we got Raiders versus Rams. Nobody really wants to see that. Rams are all banged up. Cooper Kupp is practicing. I do not know if he will play this week. The Raiders going through hell. I mean, they got no receivers left. Jacoby Myers is out. Devontae Adams is out of the team. He's completely gone. I mean, Aiden O'Connell's at quarterback. Nobody to throw the ball to. Nobody's running the ball. Zamir White isn't even healthy. I don't understand how they get a win. The Rams are not that good of a team either, Kenny, but I think that at least maybe Kyron Williams can do something in this game. And I feel like Jared Verse, their rookie outside linebacker / defensive end, may have a big game. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Rams by default.
Also, I believe there's no Max Crosby in this game. I could be wrong.
Will that be a killer? That'd be a killer.
And so I'm not 100%, but I think he's out of that game. And the Rams, I hate to say it, but they were good enough to beat us with their third and fourth string, fourth quarter preseason team. So Kyron Williams, also my guy. So I got to go with Kyron. And Blake Corum is going to get more snaps, and it's going to freshen up Kyron. And Blake has the speed to break one off for 40, 50, 60 yards.
Sure.
And so it's going to be a fun game. And then if the Rams go up, which I expect they will, then we got garbage time runs all day with Corum and Kyron and Coline Kyron work and Blake Corum getting, more work. And it's going to be a lot better running game, I think, in the Rams because Blake Corum is going to be getting more.
I agree with all that. I do. Those are good points. I like that. Very, very good points. All right, let's make a few more points over here. We got Panthers and Commanders. The game is in Washington. How are the Panthers going to beat the Commanders? I'm going to keep it real short. Jaden Daniels going to have a day. Terry McLaurin going to have a day. They're going to beat up on them 34-18. This is going to be a beatdown, no question about it.
Yeah, it's pretty much a lock this week for that Commanders to get a nice win here, which only establishes their dominance even more in the East.
Yeah, because at least that Philly or the Giants, one of them are going to lose, and then Dallas sucks anyway. They're not even freaking playing.
Makes it real interesting. That's for damn sure.
I love this stuff. All right, we got the Chiefs and Niners. Here we go. Chiefs and Niners. Wow. Okay, how do we beat them? We beat them by getting over the middle and taking advantage of the linebackers who cannot cover that well. So George Kittle, Deebo Samuel over the middle. I don't exactly know how our run game is going to go, but it's got to be something, right, Kenny? Like, we got to show something, with this Gorendo guy, if he's going to play, if Jordan Mason's going to play, I don't know. But we got to show something there. But that's how we beat them. We attack them up the middle, and we take advantage of those linebackers. So what we got to do, Kenny, is have a lot of motion, which we do all the time, get Deebo lined up on a linebacker, and create those mismatches.
Well, I was on a show last night with Levi, who just popped into the chat, and he brought up a good point about this game. And I was just about to say it, but when he popped into the chat, I forgot what the hell he said. But we got to beat him by friggin' just friggin' beat him for once. It's been 10 years, I think. It's been a real rough, rough road to hoe.
They've been our kryptonite, man. There's no question about it. They really have. Yeah. They really have. But I'll tell you what. Spagnuolo, he likes to blitz. Purdy, he's really good against the blitz. And we got our guys. We're healthy. I mean, we don't have McCaffrey. Don't get me wrong. And Neeson is another thing. But, our running game is still going to show up. I know that. And I'm not making a biased pick over here. Kansas City is not playing great football right now. The 49ers are home in this game. I believe that all those factors combined, and Purdy playing a good game, and Patrick really not having anybody with Travis Kelce to throw the ball to, and the 49ers are going to know that and watch that and take care of that. I like San Francisco to win.
So here's what Levi said yesterday on another Pick'em show that I was on with him, and David McNiner and Sentinel, and Steve-O's in that chat as well. But he brought up the point that the left tackle, well, we kind of both got to it, that the left tackle is a major problem right now for some reason in Kansas City. His percentage compared to, the protection that the other four linemen are providing is shabby, and
Yeah.
the backup is also struggling, from what I believe.
Which
So
is
that's
why
holding back.
Nick Bosa will have a huge day. But continue.
Gotta attack, seek and destroy, make it personal,
Yes.
not hurt,
It is.
not hurt anyone. But we need to get to Mahomes and rattle his ass and get him all froggy and make him throw those really bad interceptions, which he has been doing for the last 2 years, throwing really bad interceptions, not close ones, not into windows, into piles of defenders.
Yes.
These weird interceptions, his percentage, his QB rating has gone down. Sure, it's partly due to his wide receiver.
Where Kenny go? He disappeared. Was he a magician?
I'm back.
Kenny's back. Here he
Yeah.
comes. I see Kenny Pickens is in the house. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice
So-
match. Way to go, Copperfield.
There we go. Yeah, a Latino Copperfield. We got Realism Sports Talk and Realism Raw Sports Talk.
Oh, Realism. What's up, man? I love it. Are the Niners favored? They actually are favored. I got to check the line right now, as a matter of fact. I'm going to look at it this second. I think it was 2.5 the last time I checked it. So maybe they're getting that home 3-point, advantage or whatever you want to call it. So the exact,
hopefully.
I'm sorry. The line dropped. The line dropped to 1.5. They're favored, but it's 1.5. The line was up there a little bit.
There you go.
Man, Realism, it is so good to see you, bro, man. It's been a minute. What is going on, my brother? I love it. I love when you random people pop in and say what's up to you. I haven't seen Realism in a minute, man. I love it.
Hop on Darwin's comment there real quick. That's what we were getting at.
Yeah, let's go for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we talked about the interior KC line playing great, but both tackles kind of struggling. So you need the interior pocket push, which your new young undrafted DL is going to be better at than others. Wise words from a man who knows how to stream.
Are you going to stream at San Francisco this week? Are you going to go with the defending chumps, the freaking Chiefs?
I'm going with my Niners on this one.
Atta boy. I know you could do it.
I think we got a little too much for them this time.
I like this little comment right here by Steve-O. Kelsey, 0 TDs. Kermit, 6 TDs.
Yeah.
Kermit. But Komet had a hell of a game, though, didn't he? Jeez.
Komet did, yeah. And is that the second week in a row, or that was just this 1 week?
Yeah, Komet just went off, man. Komet just went off. What's Darwin saying? He's actually...
He will be live streaming this game. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Nice.
I will be there.
Oh, I got to check that out, man. No, you got to send me the link. I would love that. That's great.
Absolutely.
All right, we touched on Jets Steelers before. Wait, hold on. I realize I'm saying sports profit, but I think the NFL will allow Kermit to lose finally. I hope so, man. Kermit, I love how everybody calls him Kermit.
Yeah.
Him and his little waggly wag onto the field, the way that he runs. He is something else, man. If he wasn't married, I would have questions, but he is, so I'm not going to say anything. Man can play football, man. That's all.
A lot of men are married.
49ers have a better roster. They're going to win this game. They don't have a better coach, but they're going to win it on the field. That's the way it's going to go. Here we go. Blown challenge, whatever happens, who cares? So, look, we alluded to Jets and Steelers. Again, the Jets, they just got Devontae Adams, so they're not going to need a whole lot of practice. Aaron Rodgers and Adams, I'm sure this week is going to be like, riding a bike for them. No big deal.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Problem. And the Steelers are now going to Russell Wilson. I do not expect them to score a lot of points. So
it's
J. Watt is going to have to go crazy. And the same thing for the Jets side with Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams and all these guys, Mr. Mosley. I think it'll be a rough, tough game, but this is a really hard one to pick.
Well, someone said that the Jets cannot lose this game. So isn't it just an interesting thing that Wilson is coming back for some experiment? Just an experiment. We have a good record. We're going up against a team that cannot lose. Let's throw Russell Wilson in there just for the hell of it. So just let him go. It's just so fishy to me. Another script right here, in my opinion. Here's another thing that's I'm more interested in the story behind this game, right? So I think the Jets have to win. Russell Wilson's popping in from nowhere now, and he's probably not going to have a great game because does anybody really believe he's going to?
No,
come off the
especially that
bench
game
and
number
have a
one, not
break.
against this defense either. No.
No, it's crazy. So I don't know. This seems like a Jets 100% probability win to me.
I'll
But
tell you how much it is. The Jets a probability win, most likely. They're favored on the road in Pittsburgh. That does not happen that often.
that's an odd thing to hear. Yeah, that's an odd thing to hear.
All right. So putting it that way, it didn't take me too long to convince myself that the Jets are going to win this game. But I know that Pittsburgh knows how to keep it close, so they will. But somehow I think the Jets will probably have a 10-point lead somehow in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh get a touchdown with maybe 2-3 minutes left, and the Jets get lucky and run the clock out. So give me New York on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jets, even though how it sounds crazy when I say it, and I hear it coming out of my mouth. I'm going to pick the Jets.
If they go 2-5, it really is over. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking done. 2-5, you finish. So you know what? It is kind of a must-win game. We got two more.
Oh yeah. Do we have any? We could do this after, I guess. So that they were asking if we think that the Niners are going to take anyone at the draft at the deadline. Anybody that we're looking at. I haven't heard anything.
They got a couple of bucks. I mean, you don't want to give Hassan Reddick that much money, do you? You know how much he would help out that team, though? Like, you know how badly we need him? Like, terribly bad. So why not go after him or Sedarius Smith or I'm trying to think of a team right now that's not that. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Cincinnati gets rid of Trey Hendrickson. I haven't talked about that. They're going nowhere this year. They're going to need to
I think the guy in Jacksonville also can be
Josh Hines-Allen.
But he's banged up. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. For me, I don't think we have to do this to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think we have to do it to win because we've done this. We got Chase. Remember, we added Chase, and now we added Floyd, who I'm not saying is doing bad, but he's not blowing anything up. He's not making highlight reels and like doing crazy things. He should be, but he's not. So I don't know what it is about the other side of this line, but we cannot get anything close to Bosa on the other side. We just haven't been able to do it. We could throw money at somebody or whatever. I just don't think it's going to happen. I agree. I like someone in the middle. I would rather have someone in the middle. I'd rather have a top-tier linebacker is what I would like to have. Dre Greenlaw, is he really going to come back, and is he going to be normal Dre Greenlaw?
It's going to take him a while to figure it out.
So I would rather go for a really good linebacker. That's what I would like before I would get a D lineman. But, you know.
I hear that.
Oops, sorry about that.
No, can't disagree. That's all right. Can't disagree. Game time is coming up soon. It is 8:00. We've been doing this show for an hour. As we go, we usually try to hit about $1.10, $1.15, because we want to make sure that game is starting. And we got a couple to go to over here. Let me make sure I got everything.
Oh, yeah, we're doing good on time.
Yeah, we're good on time today. And we got to a few different things also. You know, I'll have a kick-ass segment for you next time also, man, so don't even sweat it.
Sweet. All right. We're going to pick one guy this week, right? We're going to pick a guy each?
Yeah, well, we kind of like mixed it in a little bit. We should have actually gone like all the way through and just like picked the guy. But, you know, Monday night, they kind of screwed us over a little bit. Thank God they gave us two games. One of them is on ESPN Plus exclusively.
And one is on ESPN.
Suck it, man. Are you kidding
so you can't even get a free game. That's so rude.
That's pathetic.
And it's trending that way where there aren't going to be free games. It's going to be a free game once in a while, like a treat for the public. Thank you so much.
They'll lose fans. The NFL will lose fans, I promise you. If they have
they will. But just like when Howard went to Sirius and like these things happen. They break off. They break off.
No good.
Not good for us, no.
No, can't have that for the sport. No good. I don't like it. Well, the first game, the game that we will see is Baltimore Bucks, and thank God, because who doesn't want to watch that game? I am definitely psyched up. Tampa Bay is an underrated team. The Bucks are definitely finding themselves now. They can run the football. That's what they're all about. They're closing out games. They're giving it to Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter. But the Bucks are a feisty team. You can't just say that, oh, this is a walkover. No, I'm sorry. Godwin, Mike Evans, Rachaad White may be out this game, but Bucky Irving is going to play. He looks like he can run the ball a little bit. Look, at the line of scrimmage, Tampa Bay is tough. They can compete with Baltimore. They can really compete with Baltimore, Kenny, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I like Baker, and you know that. I've said it a million times. I say it all the time. But I got to go Ravens on this one. I think that Henry and Lamar are just too much. And if Lamar gets an extra second, he'll just throw it to somebody else who's wide open. I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. As much as I like Tampa, and I do respect Tampa, and I do like Baker, and I do like their defense, and they're a good team. I just don't think that the Bucs are going to be able to run the ball on the Ravens, and I just don't think that you're going to be able to pass the ball in that situation.
It's going to be hard. The Baker will have to have a big game, and he's been playing a lot better. And I do agree with you. Baltimore is the pick here, in my opinion. I think you take them, even though they are on the road. Monday Night Football game under the lights. You got to like Lamar Jackson and what he's doing. And there was a couple of conversations over here where Darwin's Raven.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's see what Darwin thinks because he's a Baltimore guy.
Yeah, but and what he said after is right. DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys to the Niners probably not going to happen.
Well,
but
yeah,
we'll take that in a second.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get Dexter Lawrence either. We're not going to either.
Not in division, but we play those guys so often in the playoffs. I don't think the Dallas would do that.
No. Dallas sucks. Like I said in the beginning of the year, Dallas is not going to the playoffs, and I stand by that completely and totally.
F the D.
D for done, bro. D for done. So the game that we don't get to watch, which sucks, man. The Chargers are favored by 2.5 going into Arizona. Seems like kind of a small, line right there. I don't know. That's weird. Like, what has Arizona done?
It's also just a bad game. It's a boring game. Nobody cares about either one of these teams. The Chargers, no matter, even if they win this game, they're not going to catch the Chiefs. It doesn't matter. It's just a cheapy game. Put that shit on ABC.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Put it on PBS, for God's sake. Who cares?
That would be nice, and they should give the profits to PBS, but that shit would never happen.
No,
so it's just
about making money.
If I got to pick a team, I'm going to pick the Chargers because I have their D. I've had their D all year. I've explained how they don't give up a lot of points, and I don't see – well, the Chargers are another team, though, that, like the Ravens in a way, even though Kyler hasn't been very good, he could just scramble around and either run it for 60 yards for a touchdown or he'll find somebody wide open that nobody's covering because they don't know his name. And so that shit scares me. So I could see them scoring a lot of points. I could see the Chargers not being able to score as many points. But I'm gonna take the Chargers, but I recognize that the Cardinals can steal this game and by a lot of points, not by 5 or 6 points. Hey, David.
McNimer's in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Catch us just at the tail end of the show as we're getting ready to go over here. But it's good to see
you mean the electronic Buckingham?
I think that we're going to see a lot of running. J.K. Dobbins, he'll be the guy in this game for the Chargers, no doubt about it. But, yeah, I can see definitely, Bosa and, Khalil getting home. Derwin James will be playing a big part in this game if that's possible.
Oh, yeah, he'll be playing a big part of getting dirty plays in whenever he can.
Oh, my God, he is I don't like saying it, man, but he is the filthiest, dirtiest. He's got mud all over him. He is the dirtiest player in the entire league, and it's a shame because he is so freaking good.
I was just going to bring up Kamani Vidal as well, who I know Ravens liked in the draft, and I pointed out last week he was streaming, and I told him that he had a huge 70-yard run, and he was pumped. So
yeah. Where we got this from Dave McNutt. Kyler Midget Murray has an advantage. The defense can't see him. But he can't see over the O-line either. That's
and then you just see a little pellet pop out from behind a pile of men and ends up in the fourth tight end's hands in the end zone.
I love it.
Tight end 4, touchdown.
Yeah, tight end 4. This should be a good one. All right. I'm looking forward to tonight. So we both got Denver. And it shouldn't be pretty. It's going to be ugly, but welcome back, Sean Payton's in New Orleans, huh?
Yeah, again, that's what I was saying. I like the story, right? Payton coming back, beating New Orleans with a new young team and a new quarterback, new fans. People in Denver are excited again. We got a young, good quarterback, and it draws new fans, and that's what the NFL wants: new fans, new fans, new fans.
That's all right. Don't ever be sorry for being late. Showing up is good enough.
Oh, excellent. I'm so glad that John Jay is here. He's an awesome Bay Area sports guy. He knows everything about the Bay Area sports, but also the Bay Area itself. So.
No, that's freaking beautiful, man. All right, we got to get these guys on the show. Kenny, you got to talk to your people, bro.
Yeah, we'll do a panel show. We'll do some wild shit.
Yeah, man. We'll get everybody on. We'll go freaking nuts. It'll be the craziest podcast in history, man. We'll do it up. It'll be a great time. It'll be a great time next week. George Teague will be in the house, guys. George Teague will be with us next week talking everything football, Alabama Crimson Tide. He'll be talking Niners Cowboys matchup with us. He'll pick the games with us. We're gonna have a great freaking time. George will be back. It'll be beautiful.
And George has his own channel too. So just look up George Teague.
That's
I'm
right.
sure you can find his channel. He does his own thing. So
Teague's Take. He's doing a great job. He has been all over the place. So for him to give us some time, we really appreciate it. So he's going to be on with us for a good hour for next week. Really looking forward to it, Kenny.
excellent.
No doubt. All right. Power 32. We're out of here, baby. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Show ain't nothing without you. Ain't
That's right, guys.